What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be going over some Pinnacle weapons and seeing how well they actually do in today's meta for Crucible. What we're going to start with is we're going to start with Point of the Stag right here. As you can see, my strategy here is to not try to hit 2 headshots with the bow, but to hit 1 headshot with the bow and, just finish them off with my hand cannon to the body. I think if they have enough resilience, they can withstand that 1 body shot. But for the most part, I'm going to be trying to get that nice body shot. And that was kind of my strategy here. I would say it worked out pretty well. I actually, if I probably could have gotten a different or a better map than Midtown, but I really felt like this weapon, isn't great on its own, but when you pair it with like a 120, that's when it really shines, and that's why I really put quick access sling on the bow, and I'm running Dragon Shadow, so I could quickly switch. As you can see right there in the background gameplay. But really overall, this weapon really does kind of well. I mean, it's pretty easy to hit that headshot and then just finish them off with a hand cannon. Especially since I'm using, something, like the steady hand, which has great range. Really, 120s have great range, but they really have shitty stats all around. But like I keep saying, it doesn't shine on its own, but when paired with something that can one-shot body from this, as you can see right there, it shines, and then when I have, like Swashbuckler on my hand cannon, it's like, then I can start two-tapping people and everything, and overall, I mean, this weapon just feels phenomenal as far as, a weapon by itself, and it feels even better when you pair it with, a hand cannon, and, as you can see there, like, absolutely destroy supers, because this thing does have Vorpal weapon. Now, the strategy, not really a strategy, the hits, like, you have to be precise. You don't hit that headshot, you really aren't really going to get the kill. Like, you have to hit that headshot. If you don't hit that headshot, you're really not going to be able to kill. Because, because you have to switch, and if you don't get that, high damage on them, it's going to be very bad for you in the end. Because you hit that body shot, you take their shield down a lot, but you don't take their shield down all the way, and it just, you're gonna get decimated. Now granted, if their shield is down a little bit, you can one-shot them with the bow, which I find is good. And like I said before, it has Vorpal weapon, so it's great against supers. In the one clip before, in the background gameplay, you saw that I hit him with the weapon, with the Point of the Stag, and I was able to finish him off in 2 body hits with the steady hand, which would have been 1 headshot with the steady hand. And I do want to say the aim assist though is amazing, and I play on console, as you probably already have seen, but the aim assist, you definitely on console want that aim assist, and this weapon just has it. Like, it is really easy for me to hit headshots. Like, 9 out of 10 times, I'm hitting a headshot with the bow, you know, and it's just the point, and it's just the you know, it's just the hand cannons, you know, when you have to switch. That just, that is what, you know, I can't really do. But overall, I mean, phenomenal weapon. When paired with a 120 RPM hand cannon. Alright, and then in this next clip, we're going to be going over 2 Pinnacle weapons. We're going over the Revoker and the Recluse. Now, the Revoker, regardless of it being Sunset, is still a phenomenal sniper. You know, it has that reversal of fortune, which basically, you know, lets you miss shots, and, you know, you'll gain it back over time. It's essentially like a guaranteed mulligan. And then you have Recluse, which basically means if you get a kill, you get a damage buff. Now, Recluse has gotten a numerous amount of nerfs, specifically to the weapon and non-specifically to the weapon. Bungie nerfed the damage Recluse did, and that was kind of the specific buff to it. It still made it pretty decent, but, you know, it fell off in the meta. And then, you know, Bungie eventually, a long way down the road, basically nerfed Feeding Frenzy and changed Feeding Frenzy, so you had to get more kills to have to essentially have a faster reload, which affected Recluse and made it a bit worse. You know, and I was finding that the feel of this weapon was still good. You know, obviously the scope and the aim assist was phenomenal. But, you know, some of the times, you know, there would be things where I could one-shot, two-shot people, you know, with a hand cannon and everything. And I was just not getting the kills because Recluse was not dealing, you know, enough damage. You know, it took me longer to kill some people. You know, it took me longer to kill when, you know, even with the buff active. You know, as you can see there, I probably could have one-tapped, two-tapped him with a hand cannon before he could kill me with last word, and I ended up trading with him in that background gameplay because it just was not dealing enough damage. Now, going back to Revoker, it is an aggressive frame, so it has very high range, and likewise with the way Bungie changed aim assist, it has very high aim assist now, which makes this sniper so much better. Like, this weapon is so much better, it is so much easier to hit your shots, and it still feels phenomenal. Although it is sunsets, so you really can't use it in Trials or Iron Banner, just using this in regular Crucible, not only will it help your sniper aim, it's just going to help you do better in general because of how good this weapon is now. But that's really all I have to say on Revoker. You know, I would definitely get this weapon regardless of it being sunset. Recluse, however, I would say to get it and to test it out yourself, but I don't believe that this weapon is really good anymore. It just not is stacking up to the competition, especially in today's meta, you know, where you have to kill quickly. However, there are instances, especially if someone's kind of standing still like that, that this weapon does shine. But I really don't believe that this weapon is really good anymore, you know, with the amount of nerfs that it's received. So I would get it to have it, but I wouldn't recommend really using this in Crucible too often, because it just doesn't really feel, you know, good. It doesn't feel good anymore to really use the weapon. You know, but like I said, Revoker phenomenal. and Recluse is decent. You know, and you know, even though Recluse is decent, I still did, you know, this good 33 opponents defeated. Now, here we're gonna talk about Luna's Howl. Now, this is only part one. I'm gonna break this down into 3 parts. So we have Luna's Howl. We're gonna cover Not Forgotten in the next video, along with a couple others. But Luna's Howl is probably the one that I am most excited about talking about. You know, because yes, this weapon has been nerfed from 180s to then 150s to then 140s. 140's got a range buff, and that range buff, it feels like amazing. I can hit shots and headshots and do pretty much the full amount of damage at like when Not Forgotten was a 150 RPM hand cannon. That's how good this weapon feels. You know, like I'm hitting shots with Luna's Howl at ridiculous ranges, and it's amazing. You know, and then obviously as a 3-tap, its stability is phenomenal. So for console players, you know, definitely. Its reload is amazing as well. I mean, look at this. Like, I'm hitting those shots now. Now. Yes, I'm missing a bunch of those shots, but look at that. Like, I hit a bunch of those shots, and they caused a lot of damage. And now I haven't really tested this, but you know, and I'll probably test this and give like a little update on it on yeah, you know, and I'll probably give an update on like Instagram or whatever. But I want to test to see if you can 2-shot, headshot, and 1-shot body. And while I don't think you can, it would be great to test that out. And I definitely know that if you had like a damage buff, you know, from maybe freezing a target or something, you definitely could do that. Like, that'd be amazing. But, you know, overall, Luna's Howl is probably the best one we've covered in this video, you know? And you should definitely get this weapon. That's gonna be all in today's video, guys. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. You know, I'm posting more PvP content. I'll post some PvP content as well. You know, like in the background here, you know, I just soloed Callie. But, you know, I'm having fun making these videos, you know. And if you really like what I'm doing, leave comments and suggestions about what I can do. But other than that, I'm out. Peace.
But my sister remains